Welcome to Navajo County Connection. My name is Eric Scott. I'm the HR and the Risk Manager for Navajo County. I'm sitting in for the Navajo County Board of Supervisors this morning. I have Ken Dewitt, the IT Director for Navajo County, with me as well. Last month was Cybersecurity Month, so we wanted to talk a little bit about cybersecurity. Ken, what is cybersecurity?
Cybersecurity is actually the practice of defending computers, servers, mobile devices, electronic systems, networks, and data from malicious attackers. It's also known as information technology security, electronic information security. The term applies in various contexts, and it's really a very deep subject and a lot of different components in it. There's network security, which is basically the securing of networks, computers that are networked together from intruders and from malicious attacks. There's application security, which would secure your applications and make sure that your devices are free of threats. Information security actually defends and protects the data integrity of the information that you have. Operational security includes the processes that we develop to secure that on a day-to-day basis that everything works and functions correctly. There's disaster recovery and business continuity, which is where something major happens, you're able to continue your business and you're able to bring your backups into play and that you can restore your data. And then there's end-user education, which addresses the most unpredictable part of any type of cybersecurity, the human element. So Eric, as the county risk manager, how does cybersecurity affect the county and what are the risks involved?
That's a great question, Ken. There are actually two main risks that are involved with cybersecurity. There's the data risk and the financial risk. And so you have your data risk. Of course, the county has lots and lots of data, and the risk of having that data encrypted from a malicious, a bad guy, a hacker hacking in and encrypting the data, that's one risk. Trusting that data, knowing that we can trust the data because we keep it safe. Data loss from a ransomware attack and the integrity of that data. And then of course the financial risk, which most people can understand what the financial risk of a cybersecurity attack would be. Obviously the main one would be if we had a cybersecurity attack that included ransomware. There would be a ransom for that data. They would encrypt the data and we would need to pay a ransom to get that data back, and so that's a financial risk. Along with fines and fees that would come from insurance, we have cybersecurity insurance at the county, and so that's a cost and a financial risk of having to pay deductible or fines and fees for that too. So those are the two main risks that would come from the county. So kind of a follow-up question to that, Ken, would be how does the county mitigate those risks that we have?
Well, the county has a risk mitigation strategy and layers of defense. So we call it the Navajo County Layered Cybersecurity. This includes complex passwords for county employees to log into the system, the least privileged policy that we have, which means you only need to get to whatever you need to do, the data that you need for your job. We don't give everybody access to everything because that's just not prudent. We have a virtual private network that allows our VPN connection that allows county employees, if they need to access the data from outside the county, they can do that. We have antivirus software for all of our county PCs. We have network security and programs to look at our servers and make sure that they are handled correctly. We have physical security when all the buildings and where all the equipment reside. We have trustworthy backups. We have disaster recovery procedures that we handle and we test and make sure that we can recover from a major disaster. We have firewalls that are installed to allow secure traffic to travel through the network. And I think the most important thing is the training and testing of our employees, or as we like to call it, our employees are our human firewall.
So as a resident of Navajo County, I mean, you said a lot of complex things there, so as a resident, how does that apply to me?
Well, you can be confident that we're doing all that we can do to protect your data and any data that the county collects as part of its day-to-day operations. For the most part, the data that is collected by the county is available to the public. It's meant to leak out to the public. However, that data needs to be given to the public as designed by the laws that govern the different departments within the county. Our job in information technology is to make sure that there are no unauthorized access to the data that's in the county's care.
Okay. So that helps me feel comfortable as a resident of Navajo County. If I am giving my data to Navajo County, from what you're saying, I can trust that the county is taking care of that data and keeping it safe. Is that fair?
Yes, that's what we're doing.
Okay. So what can I do at home to protect my own data? Because that's all well and good that I give my data to the county and they protect it, but how can I protect my own data in my own home?
Well, you just got to remember that there are bad actors out there that want our individual information for some reason. They sell it, they make money on it. Someplace between 70 and 90% of all attacks begin with an email. So when it comes to your home email, be very suspicious about who is behind your email, who's sending you the email. If you suspect something is wrong, then don't open it, don't click on it. Because you don't really know who the email is coming from. It's very easy to spoof an email where it looks like it comes from a friend or somebody that you know, a family member. But I'm sure most of us have had experiences where those friends or family members have said that they've been hacked and people are trying to do something to collect our data. And if you open an email, never click on a link that's within the email. Usually that's what takes you and downloads a payload that is executed on your PC or on your device. You always want to, if somebody sends you the link within an email, it's better to call that friend or that individual that sent you that email and confirm that they actually sent you something. It's very easy to spoof an email. If you get an email that wants you to act quickly, or you're going to miss the opportunity, be very suspicious of those kind of emails. And just remember, think before you click.
Okay. So from what you're saying, if I receive an email from, say, my bank, I trust my bank, I would expect that an email from my bank is a trustworthy email. But from what you're saying, it may not actually be from the bank. And so I need to take steps on my end to make sure that that is a trustworthy email. And if the email is saying that my account's compromised, you need to log in and put in your credentials, or anything that's asking me to act quickly, I should be very wary of that. And instead of clicking on any links in that email, I should go directly to my bank's website, log in and take care of any issues through the website, or simply call the number on the back of my bank card instead of following any links or phone numbers in the email. Is that safe to say?
Yes, that's the safest way to handle any type of inquiry from anybody that's sending you emails.
Okay, that makes sense. So what would it look like if I accidentally did click on that link in that email?
Well, there's some things that you need to be aware of as you go in and click on emails. If it's a ransomware attack, typically what happens when you click on that link, the program downloads something to your PC. So if you have administrative rights to your PC that you can install programs and so forth, it's very easy for them to install a program. Now that ransomware program then calls home. It's a command and control type program where it would actually go out and send an email back to wherever it came from, whether that be China, Russia, or Ukraine, or someplace here in the US, to then execute the payload that it has. It will then go through and encrypt your files, and you'll get a screen that says, hey, your files have been encrypted, we want so many Bitcoin to unlock and give you the code. There's always a discussion about should you pay the ransom or should you not pay the ransom. There's been some activity in the news lately. There's Atlanta that did not pay the ransom and now has spent almost $20 million in recovery. Wow. There has been Baltimore. There's been the 23 cities that are in Texas that were all hit at the same time. So there's a lot of examples of people paying the ransom or not paying the ransom and what the costs are. If that happens to you, you need to get professional help immediately. Typically what happens is that you'll click on something or you'll go to a website that will download something on your device, and all of a sudden your mouse will start moving, or your pop-ups will start happening on your device where it's taking you places that you've never been or you don't want to go. You need to get some professional help for that too. Somebody that can clean your device and then help you have better cyber hygiene. So that's kind of what it looks like. This field, this landscape is evolving, and it's kind of scary out there right now.
Okay, so most of what you've said so far has been related to computers. You have mentioned device, so do I need to be wary of the same cyber risks for, say, my cell phone or my tablet as well?
Yes, all the cell phone is and your tablet is just a smaller computer. It's a handheld computer. It has the same liabilities. It has your data in it. It has passwords in it. You want to protect that also. There's a new scam that's going on out there right now because you need to click on that link. What the bad actors have done is actually in their program they've put on your screen, it looks like a little hair or a piece of dust on your screen, and you go to wipe that off, and it actually launches the payload at that point. It's kind of sneaky, and they're getting a lot more sophisticated. And what's happening in the industry at this point is that there's a lot of money being spent on cybersecurity. And so the state actors that we've all heard in the news that are attacking these large corporations now are having trouble getting in. So they're refocusing their attempts to medium to small businesses, small companies. They're putting them right into the crosshairs, and they want individuals. They want your information. They want to compromise and take as much money as they can. If they get $50 from 100,000 people, that's a lot of money. And so it doesn't matter the amount, it's just a matter of the attack. And they can do a lot of different things with your data once they have it. So there's also another opportunity that the bad guys are doing. Some want money, but after a while, I mean, this is $1 billion, at least $1 billion a year. Next year, FBI estimates it's going to be over $1 billion that they're making on these type of criminal activities. So money is starting to not be too much of a motivator. Now they're looking at, for medium to size organizations, they just want to destroy us. So instead of being a ransom or putting on a virus, they'll actually just wipe out everything that's on your system. I was speaking to a doctor last night, and there's been several clinics that have actually shut down because their systems were attacked. They could never recover. It just destroyed everything, and so we're hopefully we won't have those type of attacks here in Navajo County, but we have to be aware of what's out there.
That's quite scary, the way that you're putting this, that the attackers are attacking large organizations and attacking these pretty intense attacks, but also attacking individuals as well. And so there's really no safe place except for knowing and being aware of how to handle these. So again, everything that you're telling me so far is scary. We live in a pretty small, remote area. Navajo County is a pretty small location. what's the real risk for Navajo County? Does the county actually get attacked?
The county is attacked on a daily basis.
Wow.
We receive emails. We actually have programs in place that before email actually gets into the county, we have rules and items set up in the cloud. And we block about 60% of the emails that the county receives. Those 60%, that's 60% of the emails either contain viruses, contain links that go to bad places, or are just coming from a bad source. We have lists of those. We subscribe to those on a daily basis. We update that list on a daily basis, and we block those sites. So the 40% of the email that we get through, we actually then have to apply those an additional compromise indicators on those particular emails to make sure that those are legitimate emails. But we always depend on the individual, that human firewall, those individuals that look at the email on a daily basis. We can spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to protect our network, and a bad actor can jump right over that by somebody clicking on an email. So we spend a lot of time and effort on training our employees in what they do. So yes, we get attacked every day. We get emails from the county employees that says this looks suspicious. We review those emails. We work together with federal agencies and state agencies to make sure that we have the latest in upgrades and updates. It's a constant moving target.
It sounds like it. So if I'm sitting at home watching this at home, what are some things that I can take away? You've mentioned awareness and training. Sitting at home, I don't have my own IT department to help out and help keep me on track with my computer and my phone and my tablet. So what would you say are the top 3 things that I, as a resident of Navajo County, I can take with me and remember to keep myself safe at home from cyber attacks?
Well, as a reminder, 70 to 90% of these attacks come through email. So the first thing that you want to do from home as a resident or as a user of a computer is be suspicious of all the emails that you get. Look at them with a very critical eye. And number 2 is never click on a link that's within an email. If you get an email you think it's from a friend and they've included a link that say, hey, you should go see this. These are some nice kittens playing the piano or whatever it happens to be. Call that individual and say, did you send me this email? Email spoofing, again, is very, very easy to do, and you should always be aware of that. But the third and final thing is always remember to think before you click.
Okay. Those are 3 pretty easy things to remember, and then definitely can help out as a resident of Navajo County, so I appreciate that. Well, Ken, thank you very much for your time today. It's been a pleasure learning about cybersecurity and how to keep myself personally safe from cyber attacks, as well as learning how the county keeps my personal data safe as well. So thank you for your time, and thank you for watching Navajo County Connection.